Welcome back and thank you very much. Welcome to the big issue. We're starting a bit late today. Happy birthday to Mr. Benjamin Mensah, head of consumer and high net worth banking at Stanbic Bank, Ghana. It's your birthday today from Belinda and Beryl Richter. They wish you a big happy birthday. Also, Isaac Jankuma Ashley. This is a special one to your mom. You say we should wish her for you. Also, good morning to you, Mr. Kwame Alovi of from Lebanon graduate. Yeah, good morning to you. Now let's connect with you on the papers, right? On the front page of the papers. Daily Graphic this morning says, Noah Boboya on highway from November 1. Justice at last, farmers freed after 5 years incarceration. Ghana ranks 6th investment destination in Africa. Apology to Reverend Lawrence Tete. That's in the Daily Guide. Mammoth funeral for Baumia's mom. COVID is not gone, by the way, and funerals receptions have been banned. As the last time I remember, the president spoke, but as I told you, that too many sycophants around the president. NDC brawls over Flower SHS. Clean your frontage operation starts. Now, the Ghanaian Times says, Operation Clean Your Frontage, Accra rolls out campaign. Residents expected to clean environment. Floods wash away bridge at Nyabikrom in Koforidua. Police youth clash over Song of Salt mining sites at Adana. Parliament reconvenes tomorrow. The BNFT is the next one. It says, President launches Clean Your Frontage campaign to involve citizenry in making Accra cleanest in Africa. Also, TechBet relieved with return to Mills Mahama initiatives, and cost of borrowing on bond market inches up, yields trending high ahead of U.S. Fed taper. Now, the big one, the 6th Emmy Awards. Daniel Macaulay wins Man of the Year. McDan, congratulations to you, chairman of the McDan Group of Companies. Numo, congratulations to you, and let's see what we can do. Now, the Finder newspaper, Glofert begins production of 15,000 metric tons of fertilizers for planting food and jobs. Reverend Foster Mauli Benson is the CEO of Glofert. Asamoah Bing unveils 3 strategies for Victory 2024. Cosmos applauds Energy Minister for partnership. NIA to roll out 291 offices for November 3. Law students denied admission, sue General Legal Counsel and the Attorney General. Also, banner headline, Sanitation Peace in Ga. Chieftaincy climax. President tour of the Greater Accra region. My guest this morning is Mohammed Abdul Aziz, Honorable. He is a former member of Parliament for the Mion constituency in the Northern region. Thank you very much, Mo, for joining. How are you doing?
I'm good, Johnny.
Have you joined the Smoke Challenge?
Yes, we're in the Demba Festival, and so there's a Smoke Challenge. That's one way we can showcase our culture and tradition. Yes.
I see. Well, this one is from, it says, good morning, Johnny. I'm hearing and watching you live on TV3. My niece who finished university, wrote and passed the licensure exam, has been home for over 3 years now. She is today in Ho in a long queue seeking for recruitment into the fire service. Keep fighting for our youth and may God give you protection. Amen. Well, we'll continue to do this and do it. And it says, Johnny, watching TV3 this morning, I'm sad to see thousands of youth looking for immigration job and they paid 100 Ghana cedis for the form. Only 100 or 200 will get the job. Then I ask myself, what are they waiting for to be educated about the crypto space to start making money for themselves? Youth, wake up. That's what it says. The jobs, they choke. Mo, your initial thoughts about the young people looking for jobs. What do you say?
Johnny, good morning again and good morning to our viewers. The youth unemployment has been a matter that we have discussed a couple of times on this your program. And let me first of all commend you for providing that critical voice to the youth of this country, especially in respect of the issues of youth unemployment. And I've always said that if we want to grow our economy and grow it well, we must be dealing with the issue of youth unemployment. Once we are able to grow your economy, that will throw out the jobs for the young people to do. Most of your issues as a country will be sorted out, including even issues of national security. I'm aware of the national security document that also identifies youth unemployment as a threat to our national cohesion and security. And so these are issues that we cannot joke with. Johnny, you won't believe it. students who finished nursing training college since 2018 up to date have not been posted.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Why?
Well, largely because government is not willing to absorb them. I have spoken to a number of them. These are students who finished their training as far back as 2018 and remain unposted to our health institutions. You are aware that the nurse to patient ratio in this country is very low, and yet we are unable to post some of these trained nurses to our health institutions. Same thing to the issue of our trained teachers. And so we think that as a country, we must take it more serious. Now, when the finance minister says that the public sector is full and
it's
that
choked.
It's choked, they are unable to take on more numbers, and he's talking about some 650,000. I'm aware that before the government of MPP assumed power, the labor force within the public service was far more than 600,000. And so if today they are talking about 650,000, it tells you that they have not been able to recruit as many as they pledged they will do. But the long-lasting solution to the issue of unemployment, yes, we admit that government has a duty to continuously employ into the public service to be able to provide critical services like education and healthcare. But we also think that government should be laying a foundation for the private sector to thrive. I mean, all over the globe, it has been acknowledged that the private sector is the largest employer. And so when you are able to lay a foundation that would enable private sector to expand, they would obviously recruit young people to work. Now, we are talking of a regime that would brag of reducing lending rates, and yet they are not worried that credit to the private sector is dwindling, largely because government is borrowing excessively within the
but nothing stops the private sector from also borrowing, because
no, you see,
if the interest rates are down, the people can go and borrow.
No, you see, what happens is that, Johnny, the financial institutions would prefer to lend to the state than the individuals, because with the state, they are guaranteed of repayment. And so the one way to deal with it is for government to reduce their appetite for borrowing within the domestic market. That is important. Johnny, when President Mahama was embarking on infrastructure, people didn't understand the trajectory. Look, when we embark on infrastructure, what happens is that even within the construction phase, people are recruited to work. Artisans are recruited to work even within the construction phase. When you construct more schools, when you construct more hospitals, when you construct more cheap campuses, when you construct most of this, when you expand your port, that would obviously also lead to employment within the formal sector. Now, if you are not doing infrastructure, what it means is that artisans are not getting work to do, and people who would have been trained as teachers and nurses would not have the facilities to go and work. And so just doing infrastructure is not just for the fun of the infrastructure, but it is also an avenue for creating employment in this country. We think that government has a duty to provide employment. The
government has promised 1 million jobs in 3 years per the Obatampa Cares project. You
see, the MPP is very good in the sloganeering, but that will not help them. Johnny, we must be interested, even when they talk about 1G, 1F. Look, how are they being monitored to ensure that they churn out the numbers that they intend to? I think that this government of MPP has failed woefully, especially in the area of youth employment. Go and take their 2016 manifesto. The heading, the title of their manifesto was Jobs. Jobs was clearly written as very boldly on the front page, but they have not been able to create enough jobs as they promised. Look,
John Boydu says we'll get to a time when we have to import labor.
This is the General Secretary of the MPP who says that because of the policies that we're putting in place,
that's right,
we're going to import labor from elsewhere to support.
Do you have a problem with that?
You see, it was just a talk that was not backed by data. What are the policies today?
Planting for food and jobs, one district, one factory, one village, one dam, rearing for food and jobs, youth in mining, youth in afforestation, NAPCO.
These are all a collection of slogans. That will not help one dam, one village. when they won their second term. Have you heard anything about one village, one dam again? Have you heard anything about 1 million per constituency again? Look, when you go to northern region, for instance, in my constituency, I have over 200 villages. And so if you go and do a dam or two, and you say one dam, one village, one dam, what it means is that we are going to construct a dam in every village. They ended up constructing what you can best describe as a ponds. These are not dams that cannot support agriculture in the dry season. When they talk about one district, one factory, Johnny, where are they? The other time I was giving you the example of just going to Zoom Lion. Zoom Lion has a facility just around the Kolebu mortuary. Then you go and erect a very big billboard. One district, one factory. Zoom Lion existed even before the government of Nana Akufo-Addo. So I'm saying that these are all slogans. They don't have real impact on the ground. We want to see government commit itself. I just heard you say that in some few days to come, in about in a week's time, NEPCO will be over. These are about 100,000 young men were put to NEPCO. What is the exit plan? How are they going to engage these young people after they have exited?
Right.
And the most annoying thing is that some of them have not been paid. Those who are engaged in the Hill Ghana model have not been paid for more than 6 months.
That's right.
These are all issues that should. So when I hear President Akufo-Addo go around, beat his chest, I'm sure people around him don't actually share with him the real numbers. But trust me, they have failed woefully.
I hear you.
The youth of this country are disappointed in them. And we think that the only way we can be able to salvage the youth of this country would be to kick out the MPP and replace them.
You are campaigning early days. Let me just mention that Mohammed Abdulaziz, Honorable, former Member of Parliament for Mion constituency, is here on the ticket of the NDC. There's no MPP rep here as it is. And we had to go on that conversation with Cookie because the panelists had not arrived. And up until now, we don't have an MPP rep. But I'm saying that should we not, for example, also be looking at the young people? I spoke with an entrepreneur last Friday, and the indication I got was that some of them have a certain sense of arrogance. They are giving jobs, and they think that they have earned it, so they don't respect, they don't work, they don't want to be dedicated, they don't want to be committed. And if we're talking about the government not being able to provide jobs for them, perhaps we should look at the young people also and their attitude towards work. Would you look at it?
That obviously is a matter that we can have a full-blown discussion about. I mean, you don't expect every young person to behave right. Obviously, there will be some few miscreants among them, but that cannot justify the failure of the system to provide them with jobs. Now, when you say that young people should go and engage in entrepreneurship, why? You need whatever idea that you have, Johnny. You need some form of a capital to be able to be an entrepreneur. What mechanism have we put in place to allow young people to access funding to do what they want to do? When the young people see you recruit your family members into the public service, when they see the senior minister, for instance, two of his children, one recruited as a deputy director at Senate, another recruited as a deputy director at NCA, just because right after the MPP assumed power, when they see all these things done in broad daylight, and that same finance minister comes to tell them, or that same senior minister comes to tell them that, look, we cannot provide you with jobs because it is full, yet your children can be provided with very high-earning jobs within the public service. How do they feel?
Are they qualified?
So John, are you telling me that all the young people who we churn out from the university are not qualified to work?
I'm asking a question.
No, it's not a matter of being qualified or not. I'm saying that if you are a senior minister, they see your children who you have successfully recruited into the public service, very high-earning public service positions, and that same minister comes to tell them that, look, the public sector is choked and we are unable to recruit you, and even say that government was even contemplating reducing the numbers within the public service. How would they feel? So when I see these young people, go around on 4 more for Nana, 4 more for MPP, and chanting all manner of slogans for the MPP, sometimes I cry for them within me, Because
Why?
these are people you don't even benefit from the system. The system is only taking care of people who are around the system itself, and not just the ordinary MPP person. And so it's not just a battle for the NDC or the minority. It is a battle for all of us as a country. It's a battle for all young men in this country that we must do everything humanly possible to bring pressure to bear on this regime to do what is right and what is fair.
Okay. Well, I got an information from the Ministry of Information. Kwekwa Benjamin sent it to me. I'll read it out. Stated the 24th of October 2021. It said President Akufo-Addo to launch National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program, NALEP. It says President Akufo-Addo will on Monday, 25th October, that's today, 2021, launch the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program in Takwa in the Western region. The president, after taking office, took a bold decision to tackle illegal mining head-on. The decision culminated in the suspension of small-scale mining operations and the establishment of an interministerial committee on illegal mining. CIM took several actions to stamp out illegal mining and sanitize the small-scale mining subsector through strengthening the regulatory framework and enhancing the capacity of implementing agencies to discharge their mandate effectively. Preliminary data gathered by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources indicates that the Operation Halt 2 made some positive impacts on the forest reserves and water bodies. However, the operation has affected the livelihood of over 1 million people in mining communities across 5 regions in Ghana, namely Ashanti, Eastern, Central, Western North, and Western regions. The affected people include small-scale miners, sponsors, fuel suppliers, hoteliers, metal fabricators, transport operators, food caterers, traders, and farmers. Pursuant to this, President Akufo-Addo is launching the program to cater for the affected people after the operation. The program will be telecast live on the national broadcast. It's time by Kojo Ponkroma. Now, Mo, so this is what the president intends to do: set up alternative job for people within the value chain who may have lost their job. First question on my mind: was there a fight against Galamsey, really?
The answer is obviously no.
Why?
You are aware, Johnny, yourself, you are aware that they only seize their machinery only to reallocate them to party sympathizers. We have seen video clips of senior government officials taking bribes to allow people to go and do illegal mining. We have seen party officials claim that the party wanted money, and so they were engaged in these activities of illegal mining. So right from the onset, there was any national commitment to fighting the issue of Galamsey. Now when they talk about alternative livelihood, before you launch a program, you should have worked it out.
Right.
What are the alternative livelihoods that they want to provide to these people? I'm not sure this government has an answer to the youth unemployment in this country.
I would say that before the government, in fact, it was the media that started the Galamsey fight.
Board. Exactly.
And then the government came to join. But then the government in joining mentioned one district, one factory, one village, one dam, planting for food and jobs as the alternative. So I'm really lost what other alternative is being, because at that inception, we were told that these were the 3 areas that the people were.
For them.
Okay, so now we are going to launch this again.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering
it's just
how we put
another slogan that they have succeeded in churning out. I'm saying that, look, this government has no answer to the issue of the youth unemployment. Johnny, apart from just the issue of government not being able to create employment for the young people of this country, this government has also taken policies deliberately that has created unemployment. A very good example, yes. A very good example is the issue of the so-called banking sector reforms. Johnny, about 347 microfinances were closed down.
Right.
Let's just assume that each of these microfinances had about 50 to 100 people working in them. Multiply 100 by 347. And that's a very huge number. We are looking at 23 savings and loans companies that were also closed down. 7 banks were closed down. And so, look.
But something had to give. They said your government has superintended over a regime that has seen a lot of rot.
You see, today, the issue was just about non-performing loans. Even after
that's one bit. There was another portion where people had gone to get a contribution from the state to go and and
revamp their
do capital
institutions.
injection, and they went to start new businesses. Some had come through fraudulent means to gain certificates and all of that.
So, Johnny, a fraud was established. What you only needed to do was to put them before the law court and not to close those banks. Today, I have just given you an example, 347 microfinance companies. Let's assume that each of them had about 50 to 100 people on their payroll. A lot of market women also depended on these microfinance institutions to do their businesses. All of them have been rendered jobless. Media houses were closed. And so, apart from failing to provide sustainable jobs for the young people of this country, this government has taken policies that has deliberately created youth unemployment. And we must speak to the issues. And so, I don't know what the president is coming to launch again. The president is in his last term. I can tell you he doesn't care much again about
but how do you say that?
Oh, Johnny,
the president is still the president.
Just telling me,
he cares about the people.
Just tell me one policy right from January 2017 that you are aware that this regime has put in place to provide jobs, decent jobs for decent incomes. NABCO was just an extended national service, 700 Ghana cedis. Extended national service is ending in some few days to come. There's no any exit plan. What was last time we heard about Youth Employment Agency, an institution that has a legal backing with a regular source of funding?
They just had a job fair.
Their mandate is not for job fairs.
What is their mandate?
They were even recruiting people under President Kufuor, President Mills, President Mahama. Hundreds of people were being recruited, even that we acknowledge was a stopgap.
But you think in policing and all those ones, there are modules under YEA that are being rolled out, correct?
Those models have virtually died off.
Really?
They are no more. When was the last time you heard of any recruitment of any sort? But they have virtually turned everything into NABCO. NABCO, like I said, has no legal backing, no any secured source of funding. Even that one is ending. Well, President Akufo-Addo had promised them to make them a regular public.
In August 2021.
Exactly. They had promised to recruit them.
72,000 of the 79,000 will be given permanency.
Exactly.
5 days, 5 days, 6 days.
What happens
so
to that
hold
pledge?
on, 5 days, 6 days, it will happen.
Oh, no, Johnny. That's why.
Are you
Your
doubtful?
Minister for Finance has told you. Your Minister for Finance has told you that we use about 60% of our domestic revenue to pay just about 650,000 public servants, and that our school leavers should think of being entrepreneurs. Government is unable to recruit them again. So obviously, this idea of bringing 72,000 people into the public service is a non-starter. It was just a political pledge. It cannot be fulfilled. They cannot do it. They have no answer to the issues of youth unemployment in this country. So we are saying that President Akufo-Addo has lost it all on the issue of youth.
Allow the man to die before you bury him. He's just in his first year of his second term.
This is the 5th year of the president.
It's his first year of his
and
second
I've just
term.
asked that if you are aware of a single,
you would have to
single,
assess. You have to assess.
We are talking
the terms. 4 years, 4-year term. He's in the first year.
Johnny,
of his
we are
second
talking
term.
about a government that has received about 160 billion Ghana cedis as taxes and other levies for the past 4 years. Between 2017 to 2020, they have borrowed over 230 billion, and yet they are unable to point to a single policy that deals with the issue of youth unemployment.
Are you saying that you have not seen any kind of improvement in the province of creating jobs for young people?
Johnny, if you know of one, let me know. Any vehicle that provides a decent job for decent income. Let me know. I've just told you that students who finished nursing training college, 2018 up to date, have not been posted. Same for the teacher training colleges. Those who finished somewhere 2018 up to now have not been posted. Why? Government will tell you they are unable to pay them.
If you had also been part of the process, making sure that people had gotten jobs. Let's say you took us to IMF, you had conditionalities, you couldn't employ people, and that you left a backlog for them, which is why they now have to work to make sure that those backlogs are
I've
clear.
heard that argument on so many occasions. But the truth of the matter is this. Yes, we had an extended credit facility program with the IMF. That is true. But that was after we had done what we call the homegrown policies at Senchi, that we took to the IMF for some support of a sort. Johnny, you won't believe it. It was a 3-year program, and the IMF was supposed to extend to the government of Ghana about 900 million to 1 billion US dollars. We received about 500 million US dollars under that facility and left power. President Akufo-Addo and his MPP received over 400 million US dollars under that same facility, and they even had to extend the extended credit facility for another 1 year. The very program that they poo-pooed when they were in opposition, they had to benefit from it and extended that same facility for another 1 year.
It's a process. It's a process. It's a process.
It was not part of the process to extend by 1 year. And if the project was so bad, why did you access about 400 million US dollars from that fund? Now, today, and even under that ECF, exception was given to recruitment into the health service, NGES, because of the critical nature of these institutions. There were exceptions for nurses and teachers, and so we're still recruiting into these areas. And we're also doing what we call the replacement, people who went on retirement in any other part of the public service. They were being replaced. I'm saying that today, government is not under any extended credit facility program with the IMF. They don't have any conditionality from the IMF. Why are they unable to recruit? If we were not able to recruit because of that policy,
how else can they say it?
You see,
the payroll is choked.
The payroll is choked because they have gone to borrow so much that they need money to go and service our debt and our interest, and so they don't have enough fiscal space to be able to pay for more employees. That's the problem. And what even makes it worse is that despite going to borrow so much, where they have to tax myself for you to go and pay, we don't know what they have used those borrowings for. At least.
You have not seen the asphalted roads.
Oh, Johnny.
You have not seen
when people
water. You have not seen dams. You have not seen farms.
Johnny, if you talk about water.
You have not seen free SHS.
Free Senior High School, the government itself says that you spend about 7 billion Ghana cedis on Free Senior High School. If you have raised about 160 billion Ghana cedis in taxes, and if you have gone to borrow about 230 billion Ghana cedis, and yet you can only point to 7 billion in Free Senior High School, I'm telling you that all the infrastructure, all the work that you see under President Mahama, we just borrowed about 110 billion Ghana cedis, and we're able to offer employment to people within the artisans industry in this country because we're doing a lot of infrastructure that we are not seeing today.
Okay.
All that I'm saying is that this government has failed on the issue of youth employment. We think that the national youth organizer of the party, Sami Oku. It's been sorted out, and so he doesn't talk about youth unemployment again.
Giving a job
it's been sorted out at the National Lotteries Authority.
He's a young man like you and I.
Exactly.
Let's be fair to him.
This was the man who was championing for the youth. When was the last time you heard him talk about youth unemployment? Simply because he and his cronies have been sorted out.
Nana B is the youth organizer of the MPP now, so he should be speaking.
Sami
is now national organizer.
I say Sami Aoku was the national youth organizer.
But Nana B is the man now.
Was called the youth commander. He made a lot of noise about youth unemployment.
Neck to hold Nana B's neck because he is the man
as if Nana B himself is talking. Almost all the MPP
so I'm saying
guys
they're looking for those who are speaking for young people.
Who were
hold Nana B's neck.
In the front line of talking about youth unemployment, youth commander. They have been sorted out today, either formal or informal, so they don't talk. We say that the youth of this country, all the numbers of graduates who are coming out of our universities and other tertiary institutions, if they are committed, if they want to see a change, the MPP is not a party and a government that can give them a paradigm shift from what we are seeing today.
I hear you. Thank you very much. A few of your messages that have come here, of course, we couldn't read your messages on the main line, but we're reading a few of your messages that you sent to me privately, and I'll share them with the rest of the wonderful world here. Quickly. Okay. Where do I begin? Aziz Dolline says, in 2016, MPP manifesto was targeted at creating job opportunities for all. And due to this promise, the teeming youth across the country voted massively for the party. So it's very sad hearing that this bad news about public sector being choked. In fact, in August this year, over 87,000 national service personnel had just ended their national service to the country. What hope is there for them, Mr. President? Aziz Donline, why is former NASPA president, by the way. Hello, Johnny, good morning. Monitoring your program. And to Honorable Aziz, good morning. This is from Assemblyman for Nyanshegu Gumani. It says, good morning to you. Good morning, Prince Henry in Kofrida says, time we hold our leaders responsible for the promises they give us in opposition and when they need our votes. John Boyd told us they will create employment that we would have to import people into the country to work here. So my question to Mr. John Boyd and the MPP is, where are the jobs and why are we seeing young graduates queuing on the street in search of security jobs? That for me is a national security concern, by the way. It says, it's time we stop selling security forms to our young graduates who are willing to join and serve our beloved country with the zeal and passion. Samia Oku and the MPP must apologize to Ghanaians for deceiving us that security forms will be free when voted for. Good morning, Johnny, and thank you very much. God bless you and continue to endure you with the boldness and what he has empowered you to do. The bridge is gradually giving way, very dangerous and scary. That's the Asylum Down Bridge you spoke about earlier in the morning. A resident around the place says is breaking. Johnny, for me, the issue of youth unemployment is one that should transcend the usual NDC, NPP politics. For how long can we ignore this serious national tragedy waiting to explode? In Ghana, there are many houses who are not paying property rates. There are many people who do not pay taxes. The entire agricultural value chain is made up of old peasant farmers. According to the Agric Census 2017-2018, we have more than 80% of our farm holders who are old people. I'm just adding that. That's all part of the message. Why don't we do the following and others? One, create a rent and rates authority that will employ rent and rate inspectors, tax accounts. There's a leadership crisis at the rent control. I'll tell you about that. Somebody has been acting and he only got a degree in 2017 and had to apply for an upgrade which has not come. I'll show the certificates to you. 2, why can't we create agricultural division in our security forces for commercial, agriculture, and agribusiness? 3, why don't we expand the field engineers and recruit some of these young people to engage in massive road construction and maintenance? So who gets the 10%? 4, why don't we complete the many health facilities, not only as medical facilities, but also for employment purposes? And the president should simply adopt the NDC 2020 manifesto for sustainable job creation strategies. You promised 250,000 jobs per year for 4 years. They are promising 1 million jobs in 3 years. Of course, I mean, they have an alternative plan. But this from Ambassador Sampi Ali. Musa Abator in Kumasi says, good morning, Johnny. One of the core mandates of journalists to help society with true and accurate information. About time journalists of this country help us to unravel the debate of abandoned projects. Take your gadgets to all the projects started by old governments across the country and report the fact that what is required from good journalism. Our Lao chief and the people of Cape Coast deserve unqualified apology from President Akufo-Addo. Musa Abator, I will entreat you to be also a citizen vigilante, a citizen journalist like Mr. Martin Amidu. You also have a phone that takes, I know you use an iPhone. Take nice videos and send to us, and we'll push them out there. Thank you. Kutuka Courage inside Angloga Lashibi in the voter register said, good morning, Johnny. Send the MPP, send that MPP nothing good to offer this country. And well, okay, you say the MPP has nothing good to offer this country. Alasan Wana and Wa says, congratulations, Johnny, for being part of the 8 ambassadors. Johnny, in Ghana, we only have position and talkative leadership, but nothing works here. No caring leadership. They said that the payroll is choked, but their children immediately after completion will be enrolled onto the payroll with good salaries. That's your problem there. Thank you very much indeed to Grandpa Clothing and Dan Suman for my outfit this morning. Call him 020-985 5696. Again, 020-985 5696. And thank you very much to the U.S. aid, the JSS activity. They picked 8 of us, myself, Manasseh Azuri, Awoni, Abdul Hai Moment, Ifya Pokwa, a couple of us, to champion the cause of a case tracking system, why people are incarcerated wrongly, and how sometimes there are people who are kept in jail for no reason at all. The dockets are missing here and there. We'll be shining our light on it. And as Justice Yoni Kolendi said to us, it is missionary work, and we'll continue to do so. Congratulations to the team, and we pray for strength. Pray for us, because we get subtle threats and insults and attacks on many different forms. But once we have decided to work for God and country, we shall do that. Mohammed Abdaziz, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Johnny.
We'll see you after the break, the sports, and we'll tell you about something that's happening at the Amaransa Computer Lab that's been put up there, and some more deal. Stay with us, we'll be right back.